The heat shimmered off the pavement as the Marine limped past the construction site. Dust clung to his boots, sweat rolled beneath the collar of his faded jacket. Every step from his prosthetic leg echoed like a drumbeat of defiance. At first, the workers barely noticed him. Then one saw the limp, nudged his buddy, and let out a loud laugh. "Hey, you lost or limping to a handout?" another called. Someone else shouted, "That's some high-tech scrap metal he's walking on." A group of them howled. One even pulled out a phone and whispered, "This'll kill on TikTok." But the Marine didn't stop. He didn't turn. He just kept walking, his head held high. Then from down the street, the deep growl of engines began to build. Black SUVs, big and silent, rolled around the corner like thunderclouds on wheels. The workers didn't notice. Not yet. But someone was watching, and soon everyone would know that some men don't walk away from humiliation. Some men answer it. His name was Corporal Ray Mathis, United States Marine Corps, retired. Born and raised in a small patch of Georgia where most kids learn to shoot before they learn to drive. Ray was built from the earth, hard-working, quiet, loyal. His father was a welder. His mother cleaned houses. By 18, Ray had no college prospects and a heart full of purpose. He enlisted without fanfare, trained without complaint, and deployed with honor. 2 tours in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. In Fallujah, his Humvee hit an IED. He was the only one conscious afterward. Despite a shattered leg and burns on his back, he dragged 2 unconscious teammates out of the wreckage before the vehicle ignited. His left leg was later amputated. They gave him a Purple Heart. He mailed it to his mom and never mentioned it again. Returning home, he faced a different war, a world that forgot, a world that saw his limp before his service. That's why he walked quietly. That's why he endured silently. But this time someone crossed a line. The construction site buzzed with the noise of labor. Hammers, drills, heavy boots on gravel. The kind of noise that drowns out decency. Ray passed the chain-link fence just as a foreman with a gut and a red face saw him and grinned. "Somebody call the junkyard. This vet's dragging spare parts," he bellowed. That got laughs. More than a few. A young laborer on the scaffolding above shouted, "Bet he lost that leg in a bar fight." Another said, "Nah, he probably tripped over his ego." Ray kept walking. He didn't stop, didn't flinch. His face didn't twitch, but inside something curled. A familiar ache. Not pain, not fear, just weariness. He touched the tags under his shirt and whispered the name of a friend who didn't make it back. The teen filming giggled. "RoboCop meets welfare," she muttered to her friend. Even the assistant supervisor, clipboard in hand, just folded his arms and said nothing. They thought it was funny. They thought he wouldn't mind. They thought no one would care. They were wrong. 2 blocks away, a man watched from behind a tinted window. Retired Navy SEAL Lieutenant Cole Vance sat motionless in the front seat of a black Suburban, the engine humming low like a war drum. His gaze never wavered, not once. Not when they laughed. Not when they mocked. Not when the man with the limp kept walking, silent and alone. Cole's forearm bore a faded tattoo, the SEAL trident, and a jagged scar that memory told him came from Fallujah. A firefight, a convoy ambush, a firestorm, and a young Marine who crawled back into the blast zone to pull Cole from under twisted metal. That Marine was Ray Mathis. And now, years later, Cole watched that same man be mocked for the price he paid in blood. No words, no warning. Cole pulled out his phone. "This is Vance," he said into the mic, calm as the sea before a storm. "Send the convoy. Time to remind them what respect looks like." He hung up, then rolled up his sleeve and waited. Minutes later, the street fell into an eerie silence. 3 black SUVs approached in unison. No horns, no flashing lights, just silent, predatory calm. They parked in formation across the job site's main gate, blocking every entrance. Doors opened simultaneously. 7 men stepped out. Tactical pants, black shirts, boots laced tight. Some wore sunglasses, others didn't. All had the unmistakable look of men who've seen war and lived to honor it. Construction workers froze. One man dropped his wrench. Another removed his hard hat instinctively. The foreman blinked. What is this? He stammered. Cole Vance stepped forward. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. He just asked, "Who humiliated Corporal Ray Mathis?" The foreman sputtered, "Hey, we were just messing around. He didn't say nothing." Cole stepped closer. "He earned silence," he said. "You earned judgment." One SEAL raised his phone. "We recorded everything," he added. "This is gonna look real good in court and online." 2 blocks down, Ray turned, drawn by the silence, and what he saw stopped him cold. The SEALs were coming, not to fight, but to honor. They walked toward him in perfect formation, boots striking pavement like a salute in motion. At the front, Cole Vance. He stopped 3 feet away, looked Ray in the eyes. "Permission to honor you, Marine," he said. Ray didn't speak, couldn't. Cole saluted, crisp, unwavering. One by one, the others followed. 7 salutes for one man, a gesture heavy enough to move the world. Ray, throat tight, returned the salute. The teen who had filmed earlier now held her phone at her side, her face red, her lips pressed together. Cole stepped forward again and placed something in Ray's hand, a Navy SEAL Brotherhood coin. "You earned this in Fallujah. I never got the chance to thank you, until now." Ray didn't cry, but the edge of his lip trembled, and when he finally closed his fist around the coin, the entire block stood still. By nightfall, the video was everywhere. Headlines blazed across phones and screens. SEAL team confronts workers who mock disabled Marine. The clip of Cole's words, "He earned silence, you earned judgment," went viral within hours. Veterans groups reposted it, national media covered it, and the construction company? Their office was bombarded with phone calls, emails, and a single repeated demand: "Make it right." Within 24 hours, a public apology was posted. The foreman was terminated, the workers disciplined, but the most powerful statement came not in words but in stone. 1 week later, a granite plaque was installed at the job site's entrance. It read, "This project is built on the courage of Corporal Ray Mathis, U.S. Marine." Beneath it, the SEAL trident and the Marine Corps emblem engraved side by side. No spotlight, no fanfare, just respect set in stone. 2 weeks later, Ray was invited to speak at James Monroe High School. He almost said no. He wasn't one for stages, but something in him said the time had come. On a cool Friday morning, he stood at the podium in front of 600 students. He wore a clean collared shirt in his Marine Corps cap. No medals, no uniform, just the man, just the truth. "Scars," he said softly, "don't mean you're weak. They mean you fought back." He didn't talk about war, didn't talk about pain. He talked about purpose, about standing tall when the world tries to push you down. He ended with, "Dignity isn't something you ask for, it's something you carry." The students rose. Some clapped, some cried. Teachers clapped longest. And when Ray left the auditorium, a boy with one arm and a red hoodie walked up to him and said, "My mom says I'm like you." Ray looked down and smiled. "Kid," he said, "you're better than me. You're just getting started. I've walked this earth for over 60 years. I've seen war, peace, loss, and laughter. But let me tell you something plain and simple. We pass heroes every day. They don't wear capes. They don't ask for applause. They just walk with a limp, a scar, a memory, and we have a choice to laugh at them or to learn from them. Today I ask you, what would you have done on that sidewalk? Would you have joined in, stayed silent, or would you have stood up? Because sometimes respect isn't just about the military, it's about humanity. If Ray Mathis taught us anything, it's this. Honor doesn't arrive with sirens. It walks silently, and it watches. And when the time comes, it answers.